The Cartoon Network has grown a lot since its start in the 90s, and it's given us some of the funniest and most awe-inspiring animated shows ever. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Cartoon Network series of the 2010s. For this list, we'll be taking a look at some of the best Cartoon Network shows to come out since 2010. But we're excluding reboots and Adult Swim series. Also, be sure to check out our previous lists for the best CN cartoons of the 90s and the 2000s. Number 10, Clarence.
They do got some stuff to do here, if you know where to look.
Wow, really?
Remember the good old days when you were a kid? When getting up at 5 a.m. was fun and growing up was like an adventure? Well, now you can relive those glory days by watching Clarence's escapades with his best friends, the brainy Jeff and the crazy Sumo. For Clarence, every day's a new experience, living life to the fullest without a care in the world. And that's what gives this show its special charm. It looks at life from an 8-year-old's perspective, in a way that anyone at any age can enjoy. The art style is a little bizarre, and there might be some controversial moments, but it's still a breath of fresh air for a modern Cartoon Network show. Number 9, The Looney Tunes Show.
Wanted to introduce you to my friend Bugsy. Bugsy, Dickie, Dickie, Bugsy, Aggie, Dickie, Bugsy, Daffy.
Who could forget the timeless hilarity of the Looney Tunes? Especially the hysterical antics of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Well, now these funny frenemies are living together in the suburbs, along with some more familiar faces. And there, they come up against the zany problems of everyday life. While it's more of an animated sitcom than previous over-the-top incarnations of the characters, some things never change. Bugs is still a wisecracking smart aleck, and Daffy is still a self-centered nincompoop. And it is comedy gold watching life knock them down. If that isn't enough, we're also treated to strange music videos, CGI Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner shorts, and, best of all, the hilarious Lola Bunny.
You look very pretty. I like your hair.
Oh, thanks. They're my ears.
Number 8, Ben 10, Omniverse. Ben Tennyson's been going through a lot of changes since he got the Omnitrix, including an upgrade that allows him to turn into more powerful versions of his aliens. With Gwen off to college, Ben finds a new partner in Rook Blanco, after a brief stint as a solo crime fighter. Along the way, these intergalactic adventurers encounter a few old enemies and some surprise allies. We also see two different stories bridged together, one that follows 11-year-old Ben and one that follows present-day 16-year-old Ben. The new art style is awesome, and while it's definitely a new direction for the franchise after its acclaimed predecessors, it still carries the charm and sense of adventure that made the original Ben 10 so great.
Find us a little heroing to do, and you can tell me if I live up to the legend.
Number 7, The Amazing World of Gumball.
I can't wait to see the look on his face when he wakes up.
Let's face it, we've all had one of those days where things get more than a little chaotic. For Gumball and his talking fish Darwin, every day is chaotic, and even something as simple as pranking their idiot dad can end in complete mayhem. But that doesn't stop these mischievous kids from having fun in the fictional town of Elmore, where you can find different styles of animation in every strange citizen. The show may be about Gumball and Darwin, but even the weirdest background characters have their own stories. Unfortunately, most of those characters end up victims of Gumball and Darwin's shenanigans.
Okay, I don't actually know how to make this thing move, so we're gonna run!
Number 6, DreamWorks Dragons.
Well, looks like we got our work cut out for us there, bud.
DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon is a familiar tale. Viking boy meets dragon he's supposed to kill, but decides to become friends with it instead. What happens next? Well, trying to live with those reptilian beasts. And that sure isn't easy, especially with haters like Mildew running around. But luckily, Hiccup and Toothless have gotten together with fellow writers to establish the Burke Dragon Training Academy, where Vikings can learn the ins and outs of dragons and how to train them. With animation and writing that captures the style and heart of the films, most of the original voice cast, including the legendary David Tennant, and high-flying dangers and adventures galore, this series is the perfect bridge between the two movies.
Let's just go home.
Number 5, Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu.
What was so important to ignore my teachings?
Nothing?
LEGO has given us some quality toys and surprisingly awesome movies, but who knew they could pull off a full TV series? Set in the world of Ninjago, the show follows a group of young elemental ninjas as they harness the ancient art of Spinjitzu to take on the forces of evil. Matching the creative atmosphere LEGO is known for, Ninjago takes us into a fantastic world that mixes ancient Japanese and Chinese cultures with modern civilization. The visuals are unique and impressive, but it's the inventive stories, which feature strong character development, hilarious anecdotes, and heartfelt drama that make this series so special.
Hey, yeah, old-timers, mind paying attention? We're trying to save the world here!
Right, brother.
Number 4. Regular show.
Oh, this is my jam right here.
You will never forget your first job, and Mordecai and Rigby definitely won't forget this one. When they're not being lazy or trying to entertain themselves, they can be seen working as groundskeepers at the park, and their boss really needs to cool his gumballs. Unfortunately, working at the park is anything but regular. Even the simplest of everyday things, like playing rock, paper, scissors, turns into an insane ordeal. Though intended for kids, the show tackles more young adult issues, such as relationships, through the eyes of actual young adults, right before going back to tongue-in-cheek comedy. But ultimately, at the heart of everything is the friendship between a blue jay and a raccoon, an irregular pairing for a regular show. Number 3. Young Justice.
So what are we waiting for? A theme song? A strategy.
Eventually, all great sidekicks have to leave the nest of their mentors and strike out on their own. And that's exactly what Robin, Kid Flash, Aqualad, Superboy, and Miss Martian do. They team up with fellow teenage heroes to become an offshoot team for the Justice League. Known as the Team, this group of young heroes takes on undercover missions. Not unlike the Teen Titans, each member has to deal with the trials and tribulations of working together as a unit, while also struggling with their own personal issues. As the story moves forward and more mysteries pop up, we see how strong-willed and capable these former sidekicks really are. They're even able to step up when the League can't.
We are done here.
Number 2. Steven Universe.
Guard it! Don't hurt it!
Who doesn't love a good coming-of-age story? Meet Steven Universe, a young half-gem, half-human, training to protect Beach City and the Earth under the guidance of his guardians, the Crystal Gems, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. Steven's an excitable kid who looks for the best in everyone, including the gems, which is good because he finds out some pretty deep stuff about them.
I'm able to see possible outcomes to most situations, which comes in handy since you seem to attract a lot of danger.
In addition to Cartoon Network's usual brand of comedy, this series also offers its viewers stunning visuals, beautiful music, and some of the most fascinating sci-fi world building on TV as we dive into the Gems' origins. Watching Steven learn and mature as he grows to become a formidable warrior and caring friend is an incredibly gripping story.
We are the Crystal Gems!
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Don't make me call lights out at 8 in the morning.
You wouldn't dare!
Wouldn't I?
That was beautiful. You should write poetry.
What makes you think I haven't?
Peekaboo.
Happy?
That felt good. I'm the famous Ben Tennyson. I'm a superhero. You have heard of me, right?
Sir Punch-a-Lot. Now is not the time. But then again...
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1. Adventure Time.
Hey, you know what time it is?
Adventure Time?
Can you believe Nickelodeon rejected this show? Well, in this case, their loss is Cartoon Network's massive gain. This unusual ratings magnet follows Jake the dog and Finn the human as they protect the land of Ooh from all kinds of absurd characters, including the princess-stealing Ice King and the deadly Lich. First-time viewers may take one look at the colorful visuals and think this is just another silly kids cartoon. However, it is anything but. There are plenty of silly moments for sure, but it also approaches some dark and disturbing territory, as well as philosophical themes. Add to that some brilliant storytelling, and this is one pretty mathematical animated series.
Mathematical!
Finn, you're terrible at math.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.